Much like audio synthesis, one of the basic building blocks of video synthesis is the oscillator, which produces a periodic repeating signal, such as a square wave or a triangle wave. For example, a square wave sounds like this. And when plugged into a television, a square wave looks like this. Lower frequency waves produce horizontal stripes, while higher frequency waves produce vertical stripes. This animation illustrates why this is the case. An oscillator can also be used to modulate another oscillator. To demonstrate this, I will use this triangle wave to modulate this triangle wave. It can modulate the brightness or the frequency. The closest equivalent to a video oscillator in TouchDesigner is a ramp top. So let's build a video synthesizer in TouchDesigner using ramp tops. To start, delete all the default nodes, and then click the X in the top left to close the palette. Hit the Tab key to bring up the list of operators, make sure you're in the top tab, and then either click on ramp or type ramp and hit enter. In the parameters for the ramp top, click the Common tab and set the resolution. I'm going to set it to 1280 by 720, but if you have the commercial version of TouchDesigner, you can set it to whatever resolution you want. Set pixel format to 32-bit float RGBA. Click the Ramp tab in the ramp's parameters. Now to make this ramp scroll to the left, let's put a formula in the phase parameter. To do so, click on the word phase or the plus sign to the left of it to reveal a larger text field. In that field, delete the 0 and type the Python expression abstime.seconds times 0.1. Set the period to 0.25, and then set extend left to mirror, which switches it from a sawtooth wave to a triangle wave. Click on the output of ramp 1 and drag a wire out of it. While still holding down the mouse button, hit the Tab key. Select Out either by typing or clicking. Make sure you put a lot of space in between ramp 1 and out 1. Right-click on out 1, select View, and then resize the window to whatever size you want. This will serve as an output monitor. Right-click on the wire between ramp 1 and out 1, and select Insert Operator. Type or click Transform. Set Rotate to -30. Rotating the image -30 degrees like this leaves some blank space in the frame. To fill the space, click on the Tile tab and set Extend to Repeat. Copy and paste ramp 1 to create ramp 2. Set the ramp type to vertical. Modify the formula in the phase parameter so that it's multiplying abstime.seconds times -0.1. Now connect ramp 2 to a level top. Hit the Tab key and select the Chop tab, then select LFO. Set type to triangle. Set frequency to 0.5. Set offset to 0.3. Set amplitude to 0.1. Then connect LFO1 to a null. Click on the plus button to the bottom right of null 1. Click on level 1, and then drag chan 1 from null 1 into the invert channel, and select Chop Reference. This makes the image pulse slightly. The next step is to modulate the first pattern by the second pattern. To do this, right-click on the wire between Transform 1 and Out 1, select Insert Operator, and select Displace. Connect level 1 to the second input of Displace 1. Then set all the displace weight parameters to 0.1. This effect creates small gaps around the edges of the image. To more seamlessly fill in those gaps, set Extend to Mirror. To take this all one step further, let's create another ramp and use it to modulate ramp 2. To start, copy and paste ramp 2 to create ramp 3. Set the type to circular. Set the phase to abstime.seconds times 0.2. Set the period to 0.15. And set interpolate notches to ease in, ease out to make it a sine wave. And then insert a displace top in between ramp 2 and level 1. Connect ramp 3 to the second input of displace 2. Set all of the displace weight parameters to 0.1. And set extend to mirror. The next step is to use a key to make some of the image transparent. To do so, insert a chroma key top in between displace 1 and out 1. In the Val tab, set Val min to 0.4 and set Val soft low to 0.1. The next step is to create a feedback loop. I've already discussed feedback in depth in a previous tutorial, so I won't delve into it here, except to say that, in audio synthesis terms, it's similar in concept to a delay pedal. Insert a null top between chroma 1 and out 1. Draw another output wire out of null 2 and connect it to a feedback top. Insert a composite top between null 2 and out 1. Set operation to over. Connect feedback 1 to comp 1. Now drag comp 1 over feedback 1 to create the feedback loop. Hit the Tab key and select the Chop tab. Select Keyboard In. Connect Keyboard In 1 to a null. Select Feedback 1, hit the plus button on the bottom right of null 3, drag it over the pulse button, and select Chop Reference. Now, hitting the 1 key resets the feedback loop. Next, insert a transform top between feedback 1 and comp 1. Set both scale parameters to 0.7. Click on the Tile tab and set Extend to Mirror. Now that the feedback is tiled in all directions, it can be scrolled. So click on the Transform tab and set Translate X to abstime.seconds times negative 0.025. And set Translate Y to abstime.seconds times negative 0.01. Insert a level top between Transform 2 and Comp 1. In the Post tab, set opacity to 0.75. Insert a flip top between level 2 and Comp 1. Turn on both Flip X and Flip Y. Insert a cache top between Flip 1 and Comp 1. Set the cache size to 12 so that it remembers the current frame plus the 11 frames before that. Hit the Tab key and select Cache Select. Drag Cache 1 over Cache Select 1. Set Cache Index to negative 11. Drag a wire out of Cache Select 1. Hover over the wire that connects Cache 1 to Comp 1 and release the mouse button. This adds some temporal separation between iterations. The next step is to convert each gradient into 2 gradients. To do this, insert a lookup top in between comp1 and out1. Go back to the start of your network, copy ramp 1, and place a copy under lookup 1. Set phase to negative 0.94. Set period to 0.5. And connect ramp 4 to the second input of lookup 1. This is similar in concept to using a full wave rectifier on an audio signal. Next, insert a multiply top between lookup 1 and out 1. Then connect lookup 1 to the second output of multiply 1. Multiplying an image by itself scoops the mids, so to speak. The final step is to add some color. Insert a lookup top between multiply 1 and out 1. Set index channel to luminance. Copy and paste ramp 4. Connect ramp 5 to the second input of lookup 2. Set phase to 0. And set period to 1. Finally, define the ramp's colors by adding and modifying points on the gradient. You can choose whatever colors you want, but here are the ones that I chose. Now you have something along the lines of a basic video synthesizer patch. And like a video synthesizer, it can be endlessly tweaked. If you want to experiment further, I recommend mapping sliders to various parameters so that you can play around with them in real time. And if you discover anything interesting, leave a comment with instructions so that others can try it too.